God will hear the cry of the poor if we, their brothers and sisters, hear that cry. Words spoken by Sister of Providence, Margaret McCleary, when she founded Providence Ministries for the needy more than 4 decades ago. Offering food, shelter, and clothing to the poor and homeless, the agency, supported in part by funding from the annual Catholic Appeal, has served as a model for many social service agencies that followed in Holyoke and across New England. Steve Kiltonick sat down with Sister McCleary, highlighting the agency's 40 years of service to the community.
It was started by a woman with a vision to feed the hungry and clothe the homeless of Holyoke at a time when virtually no one was paying attention. It was Sister Margaret McCleary, a Sister of Providence, who felt compelled to act. Her vision became reality when she founded Providence Ministries for the needy. The first program offered by Providence Ministries was at Kate's Kitchen here in 1980. A year later, Laredo House opened, and a few years after that, Broderick House. Over the past 4 decades, Providence Ministries has been nourishing hope and rebuilding lives for thousands of individuals and families, thanks in part to funds provided by the annual Catholic Appeal. Sister McCleary credits 2 courageous women of faith for inspiring her to start a community kitchen in Holyoke. In the 1970s, Sister Annette Rafferty, a Sister of St. Joseph, opened the Abbey House in Worcester for women, and Sister Peter, a Sister of Providence, the Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen in Springfield.
At the same time, the Sisters of Providence then said in our statements that we will stand in compassion and love with the poor and with all who suffer, and we will give priority in our ministries to the poor. Well, those words really grabbed my heart. I thought if there's hungry and homeless people there, there's hungry and homeless people in Holyoke.
Kate's Kitchen, named after the founders of the Sisters of Providence, Catherine Horan, was established in one of Holyoke's poorest neighborhoods. In the early years, Sister McCleary listened to the voices of those suffering.
We would hear of women sleeping in cars with their babies, children sleeping on their apartment floors with sheets as blankets, men dying under the bridges.
Providence Ministries' initial programs addressed the needs of those who were forgotten.
We opened a round-the-clock shelter for women and children so they wouldn't be sleeping in cars or in abandoned buildings. We accepted when we opened the shelter for men. We were the only shelter that would accept people, men with AIDS. We take care of them. If they died, we'd bury them.
At the Broderick House, wakes were provided for over 100 people because families couldn't afford a funeral director.
Human beings are suffering, and when human beings suffer, regardless of the reason, we don't stand in judgment, we act. We don't talk the talk.
While the buildings have remained the same over the years, the programs have evolved to address the particular needs of the day. Jenny Adamczyk is the executive director of Providence Ministries. She said the ministries can be broken down into either life-sustaining, like Kate's Kitchen, or life-changing, like the Loreto House. Kate's Kitchen is open 365 days a year and serves warm, nutritious meals, no questions asked. Along with staff members, a dedicated core of volunteers make the meals and help in the day-to-day needs of the kitchen. Although COVID-19 has put a halt to serving people inside, Kate's has remained open with to-go meals being delivered through the kitchen door at noon. In 2019, over 70,000 meals were served to people from the neighborhood. Margaret's Pantry and St. Jude's Clothing Center are the other life-sustaining programs. Brenda LaMagdalene is the manager of both ministries. The pantry offers food to qualified Holyoke and other Western Mass residents once a month.
They can come here and they get approximately like 75 pounds per person, so a family of 4 can get over 300 pounds of food, plus all the extras in the meat, and dairy and fruits and vegetables.
When the pandemic hit, food donations from churches and individuals stopped. But the Western Mass Food Bank stepped in to fill the tremendous need. In 2020, over 1.8 million pounds of food was given out.
We're serving more clients than we have ever served in the 16 years I've been here. We've been over 2,000 clients for quite a few months since this pandemic has happened.
St. Jude's offers quality clothing, furniture, and small household items for those in need. Providence Ministries also assists victims of fires, helping families to get back on their feet during a difficult time when oftentimes everything has been lost.
It's been really heartwarming to see everybody pull together, even though they're having difficulties in their life too. So it's really nice.
In addition, Food Works at Kate's Kitchen is a 12-week program that offers unemployed and underemployed individuals job training in the culinary field. Food Works recently opened for its first classes after being closed the past year. The life-changing programs are named after Sisters of Providence Agnes Broderick and Mother Mary Laredo.
We have 3 sober living houses which operate on a step program. So Laredo House is kind of your stage 1, where people are coming in from detox, from prison, from other programs for recovery, and they come to us for a soft place to land, to get on their feet, so that we can help them progress to the next stage, which would be going to Broderick House, which is similar to Laredo but with a little less restriction and a little more independence.
The last step in the sober housing program is McCrory Manor, which sits on a hill overlooking the former Providence Behavioral Hospital in Holyoke. Renovated and opened in 2015, it is a single-room occupancy residence and is the latest program under the Providence Ministry umbrella. The house features shared living spaces, including fully equipped kitchens and bathrooms. George Karen is one of the 24 residents at Laredo House.
I almost feel like I'm part of a family here, and the level of compassion these people give me is unbelievable. They care for me sometimes when it seems like I don't care for myself, and I'm blessed to be here, and I can't thank Providence Ministries enough, and Jenny and her staff in particular. If you're willing to make changes and do work, I mean, you can change your life here for sure, you know.
Realizing that the food pantry hours aren't convenient for everyone who works full-time but still needs help, a new program was unveiled last weekend at Holyoke High School.
We don't ever want to be a stumbling block to somebody who needs help. So now we can offer them a Saturday alternative where you can come once a month and get a box of food for your family. So that's something that we're really excited about.
Providence Ministries has partnered with the City of Holyoke and the Food Bank of Western Mass to distribute non-perishable, then perishable food with the addition of a refrigeration truck in the upcoming months. As COVID restrictions loosen up, Adamczyk is hopeful that they will have fun events and fundraising again soon. She's optimistic about the future of Providence Ministries.
I think that when you are doing things for the right reason and the right motive and to help the people who need it the most, that you're unstoppable. And I think that when you're doing it all and you're not just doing it for the people in your community, but you're doing it for the glory of God, that you can't go wrong.
It would be wonderful we close its doors because everybody's needs are met, but that's not going to happen. I hope there will be people who will really continue to be deeply supportive of this ministry. And if they are, we will go forward.
With the support of the community, volunteers, the diocese, and the Sisters of Providence, Providence Ministries for the Needy will continue nourishing hope and rebuilding lives for many more years to come. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
Providence Ministries' new food distribution program will be offered on the 4th Saturday of every month from 12:30 to 2 through December. To find the distribution sites, periodically check the Providence Ministries Facebook page where the locations will be posted. We have a link at iobserve.org.